Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn about password validation and we are trying to see these below use cases. So generally in password, right, we kind of have somewhere like one special character should be there, one number should be there. So similarly we have taken this approach here that we should have these things like one special character, one number in this password, one lowercase, one uppercase, right? And the total length of that password should be 6, you know, and the string should also contain at least, you know, even if the password is more than 6, right, it should complete these things, right? So in short, the password length of the password should be 6 as the minimum requirement. We can increase to 8 or whatever. I just take another 6. And the second thing is, even if the password is of length 6, but it should have other characteristics like special character, lowercase, uppercase, they should also be present. So that's the problem statement which we are going to see today. Great. So I will be writing some functions here. I will give a function name called function validation. Okay. Now we'll try to understand what we are going to do here, right? Or I will say validate, just to say it's function validate. Okay. So, and we are going to see here what we are going to do. So this goal of this function, right? So I will make a comment that what is this validate function does. This guys only say takes an input. Okay, that would be a password, right? You'll take the input, and what it does is, it returns me the count. For example, how many numeric characters are there, how many lower cases are there. So it returns me count of the password and compliance of the password, I will say. So in sense, if the length of the password is 6 but it doesn't comply with this other features, right, so it should not be a valid password, right? So I should be taking the password as a string, correct? And what I return is an integer because I'm looking for the count, right? Great. So what I'll do is, I will say example, I will take a variable called int as a count, right? I'm going to do one thing. Hold on. I'm going to use this special thing. So here I will use a count as an int. Instead of writing again var and var, it's better to write this way. I will be taking the numeric case, the lower case, right, the upper case, and special characters. All these variables, and they should be returning me true or false, like does the string contains them. So it should be a boolean type, right? Let me take this as a boolean type and let's see how it is reacting. Now I want to say check the password. Right now we can do it in different ways, right? We can have the string packages also. We can handle this. We are going to do a mix. We're going to do both regex and string packages. So I will first check the numeric function. So numeric, I have already played. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use regex p dot must compile, and I'm going to take a string. Now this is a numeric, right? So numeric should be /d, which is the regex pattern, right? So this says that it will match the regex numeric numbers only. So I'll match the string, and for me the password is a string because that's the input, right? Similarly, for the lowercase, right, I'm going to use the lowercase. And how about the lowercase? So I'm going to use the same regex dot must compile, right? And this is that backtick which kind of escapes those regex patterns, that slash and all those things, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a to z, right, a small z because it's lowercase, right, and I will match string with the password. Great. Similarly for the uppercase also, I'm going to use regex dot must compile and here I'm going to take again, it's a capital, right? So capital A to capital Z dot match string, and again it takes a string as a password, right? Now I want to take some special characters here, right? So say example, I want to take a special character list I should be bringing also, right? So let me write the special characters list here. Say exclamation we are having, we want, I will just going to function key, all the things. Yeah, let me put all of them, and that makes the upward function keys all being there, right? So I want to ignore, I want to accept all of them, anything found in the string, right? So that should also be counting. So here in this scenario we will take a strings package, right? So we'll say special characters equals to strings dot contains any. Okay, so contains any, right? You want to pass the first thing as a string, so I will take the first parameter as a password, and I want to take the characters. Now characters is already defined there, so I will be just simply take this, and I want to go to put into a double quotes, put in a double quotes, because this is what I was looking for, right? So any characters mentioned here, if found in the string, then it's a valid password, right? Okay, now my goal here is first goal is, let me write my first goal so that a little better. So goal 1 is I want to make sure that one of these above characters should be present, else non-compliance, kind of. Right. And at the same time, increment the number of the characters required. So what I want to say is, example, what I can say. So example, I want in the string, numeric is there, lowercase is not there, uppercase is not there, special character is not there. So that means it should return three compliance is not present, or 3 characters should be present. This characteristic should be present. It's just a number of numeric only. So example, I just take a password of say 9 and then 6 nines. Okay, so ideally this is the 6 nines contains the length of the password as 6, right? So it can be a valid, right? But it should not be. It should be like this way. It should not be like 6 nines. If there is a number called 6 nines, then it should return me that okay, I need a special character 1 here, I need a uppercase 1 here, I need a lowercase 1 here. So that means I need 3 more characters to make it a compliance password kind of thing, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use if statement. So if the thing is not numeric, the string is not numeric, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increment the count, right? So count equals to count plus 1, or we can make a shorthand notation of count plus plus. Okay, I'm not going to use else statement, because if I'm putting a else statement, if the string does not have numeric, it will increment the count, right? And if the numeric is there, it will not go and check the other cases, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use multiple if statements. So if not lowercase, right, then again count plus plus. So that means it increases the count, right? Similarly, I'm going to do for if not uppercase, count plus plus. Okay, if not special characters, count plus plus. Correct. So the whole idea here is simple. In a length of 6, okay, in a length of 6, if I'm seeing that these characters are not present, that means I should be incrementing the count. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, count is an integer, it's an integer unit I have taken. So what we can do is we can return the count. Great. So let me take a use case. So print, and I will use a validation or validate, whatever you can say. and I'm going to pass a string, right? So let me say a string called capital A, B. So it has a small letter, it is a capital letter. It has a number, okay, and it has a special characters, okay. So 4 characters completed: number, special number, lowercase, uppercase, right? Okay, let's put some extra numbers. So that means I have a 6 characters, right? So now what happens is this should return me 0 requirement, because anyways the characters is 6, right? And I'm happy with this password. Okay, let me go and run dummy.go. Great, it returns count, and it says that okay, I do not need a character like that. Great. What if I am just going to fill it by a C? That means I need one extra small case, small letter, right? That makes my password to be compliant. So that means if I run this, it should return me 1, because 1 character is required, right? See, it is looking for a 1 character. Let me put a Z, and if I run this, it should say okay, 0 character. Great. But there is a interesting part which we need to look also. So example, my password is say 1 2 3 4, right? So now this should return me how many characters? It should return me 3 ideally, right? I have the number, right? I have the special characters, I have the lowercase, I have the uppercase, these 3 required, plus what I need is the length of the character is not 6, right? So it should be returning more than 3, right? So it should be like 3 plus 2, 5. Is it really returning that number? Let me see what is returned actually. It returns me 3, right? That's 3 things, the special characters, the numeric and the uppercase. But is it compliance, right? No. So if I say or you can say like this way, if I take like this way if I take here like A, B, okay, dollar, that's a 3rd character, numeric, right? So 2. So technically all the characters are present, right? So what it returns and what we are expecting, because our length should be 6, right, which is not met here. See, it returns 0, right? So the thing is, we still have one more checks where we have to implement this, that even if the password is having all the characters which are required by us, the length should be 6, okay? And the same time, if any test cases kind of scenario comes, say example, if I say put a number called 9898, right, then it should be not returning 3, it should return more than 3, because I need still 2 more characters here, right? Great. So let us take that statement here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a goal2, right? And in this goal2, what I'm going to do is match the length of the input greater than equals to 6, also along with the count. Okay, so say example, now let me take a scenario here, okay, before starting the else block or if block, another condition. Say I am giving a number called 45 right here, okay, and in this scenario, okay, let me just say go run dummy.go. So the value coming is 3, but if I'm adding 3 more characters here also, the total length is 5, right? Again, it is still not 6, right? So that means even if I put that, it's a false validation, it's not completely validating. So you should be adding 1 more character technically, so that it becomes a 6 also. But every time you cannot put 1, that's become a different concept there, right? So if the value becomes 3 character or 1 character, we cannot hard code the value, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to apply a simple mathematics here. So if length of the password, okay, in this scenario the length of the password is 2 plus how many count is required? 3. Great. So the length of the password plus count, that means 2 plus 3 equals to 5, less than 6. Yes, it is, right? Because as I said, length of password, which is 45, right, is equals to 2, and count which it needs is 3. So that means, if I say like this, 2 plus 3 less than equals to 6, right, less than 6. So then this loop, the code should execute. Great. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to find the count, right? So count equals to count. What is the current count I'm having? 3. So 3 plus, okay. Now I need 1 here. Technically in this scenario I need 1 here. But how I'm going to get that number? It's simple. What is the total desirable length I'm having? Which is 6. Okay. And if I'm going to subtract like this, 6 minus the length of the password, right? Length of the password is what? 2. Okay. Plus count. Okay. So 6 minus 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. So 6 minus 5 is equals to 1, right? So what I'm saying is count equals to 3 plus 6 minus 2 plus 3, right? So which becomes what? 3 plus 6 minus 5 is equals to 1. So 3 plus 1 is equals to 4, correct? So that is what I want actually, right? So if I do like this and if I run here, it should return me 4. See, it returns me 4. And if I pick only one single digit, right? So then what it does is it still needs 5 character minimum to what you call compliance, right? As in basic. But at the same time, in the 5 character also you need to include that uppercase, lowercase and everything. So its answer should be kind of 5, right? Yes, its answer is 5, right? So this is example of a password validation, right? But if I say the number is example, I'm taking a worst case number 47777. How many digits? 3 to 5, 6, 7. So this is a 7 characters, right? So technically it's greater than 6, right? So then this guy will not come. This guy says, anyways, your length of the password is greater than 6, right? You are out of my loop, right? So on this scenario, the value should be coming as how many things we are missing. So numeric is matching, lowercase is not matching, uppercase is not matching, special character is not matching. So that means it should return me 3, right? So if I go and run this guy, it should return 3. So that means 3 characters are required to make it a compliance password. So I hope this video is informative. Thank you for watching.